I'm sure you've heard the news. Cricket in Saudi Arabia is not just a sport, it's a saga of passion, struggle and dreams that have been deferred for decades. This is a story that spans over 40 years, a story of resilience and hope, of a community that refuses to give up despite the odds stacked against them. Cricket in Saudi Arabia is a tale of passion, struggle and dreams deferred. The passion for cricket in Saudi Arabia is palpable. You can see it in the eyes of the players on the field, in the cheers of the fans who gather to watch every match, no matter how makeshift the grounds or how limited the resources. This passion is the lifeblood of Saudi cricket, fueling the dreams of countless enthusiasts who have dedicated their lives to the sport. For nearly 40 years, cricket enthusiasts in Saudi Arabia have faced the same hurdles. The lack of proper infrastructure has been a persistent challenge. Imagine trying to play a professional sport without the necessary facilities, no proper pitches, no dedicated grounds and minimal support from the authorities. Yet these enthusiasts have persevered, driven by their love for the game. Despite nearly 35.6 million Asian expats who live and breathe the sport, there's no proper infrastructure. The Asian expat community, which forms a significant portion of the cricketing population in Saudi Arabia, has been instrumental in keeping the sport alive. They play on cement wickets and makeshift grounds, often in extreme weather conditions, just to keep the spirit of cricket alive. Their dedication is commendable, but it also highlights the glaring lack of support and infrastructure. Cement wickets and makeshift grounds have become the norm. These makeshift grounds are a testament to the resilience of the cricketing community. They have adapted to the circumstances, making the best of what they have, but this is not enough. For cricket to truly thrive in Saudi Arabia, there needs to be a significant investment in infrastructure. 21 associations organize tournaments but only provide basic ground maintenance. These associations have been doing their best with the limited resources at their disposal. They organize tournaments, maintain the grounds as best as they can, and try to keep the sport alive. But without proper funding and support, their efforts can only go so far. Funds are taken from the teams, but the returns are barely satisfactory. The financial struggles are a significant hurdle. Teams often have to pool their resources to participate in tournaments, and the returns are minimal. This financial strain takes a toll on the players, many of whom have to juggle their passion for cricket with their day jobs. Meanwhile, neighboring countries like Qatar, Oman and Kuwait are thriving thanks to their dedication. These countries have recognized the potential of cricket and have invested heavily in infrastructure and development. As a result, their cricketing communities are thriving, and their teams are making significant strides on the international stage. Yet in Saudi Arabia, no one has stepped up to promote cricket or secure land for proper grounds. Enter Vision 2030. Vision 2030 is a bold initiative by the Saudi government to diversify the economy and promote various sectors, including sports. This could be the turning point for cricket in Saudi Arabia. With the right support and investment, cricket could finally get the infrastructure and recognition it deserves. The Saudi Cricket Centre transforms into the Saudi Cricket Federation under the Ministry of Sports. This transformation is a significant step forward. It brings cricket under the purview of the Ministry of Sports, which means more resources and better governance. The hope is that this will lead to a more structured and professional approach to cricket development in the country. A glimmer of hope as the government gets involved. The involvement of the government has given the cricketing community a renewed sense of hope. There is a belief that with the right policies and investments, cricket in Saudi Arabia can reach new heights. The players are hopeful, the fans are excited, and there is a sense of anticipation in the air. In 2020, they hire Kabir Khan as head coach, aiming to improve player development and infrastructure. Kabir Khan's appointment as head coach was a strategic move. With his experience and expertise, he was expected to bring about a significant improvement in player development and infrastructure. There was a lot of optimism surrounding his appointment, and many believed that this was the beginning of a new era for Saudi cricket. But instead of focusing on the players, they're busy hunting for sponsors. However, the focus soon shifted from player development to securing sponsorships. While sponsorships are essential for the financial health of the sport, the overemphasis on it meant that player development took a back seat. This was a significant setback, as the players were the ones who needed the most support. Internal conflicts arise, and still no proper academies for players. Internal conflicts within the cricket associations further complicated matters. These conflicts diverted attention from the core issues, such as the lack of proper academies for players. Without these academies, players had limited opportunities to hone their skills and reach their full potential. The easiest step, giving contracts to players, is overlooked. One of the simplest steps to support the players, offering them contracts, was overlooked. Contracts would have provided the players with financial stability and allowed them to focus on their game. The lack of contracts left many players disheartened and uncertain about their future in the sport. Many lose interest as they're not getting paid. The financial issues led to a decline in interest among the players. Many of them had to prioritize their livelihoods over their passion for cricket. This was a significant blow to the cricketing community as the talent pool began to dwindle. From 2020 to 2024, the new faces of the SACF failed to deliver on their promises. The period from 2020 to 2024 was marked by unfulfilled promises. This led to a sense of disillusionment among the players and the fans. Saudi cricket is in a worse state than ever, with rankings plummeting to 32. The struggles of the Saudi cricket team were reflected in their rankings. The team plummeted to 32nd place, a clear indication of the challenges they were facing. The players felt defeated and the future of Saudi cricket looked bleak. What's next for Saudi cricket? The future of Saudi cricket is uncertain. There are many questions that need to be answered. Will there be a renewed focus on player development? Will the necessary infrastructure be put in place? Will the internal conflicts be resolved? These are the questions that the cricketing community is grappling with. The future hangs in the balance, waiting for someone bold enough to take the necessary steps. The cricketing community is hopeful, but they know that it will take a lot of effort and dedication to turn things around. Will anyone rise to the challenge? The call for proactive leaders is louder than ever. The cricketing community is looking for individuals who are willing to rise to the challenge, individuals who can bring about the necessary changes and lead Saudi cricket to a brighter future. The journey ahead is long and challenging, but with the right leadership and support, Saudi cricket can overcome the hurdles and achieve its true potential.